It's not about motivation. Winners need discipline. Wake up and win today. Discipline comes from within.
Boxing King Media in association with the Riyadh season. Delighted to be joined by Mr. Alex Krassyuk in Valencia, a little town called Gandia.
True. This is a beautiful city and the best place to have a training camp at this time of the year. Not the time of summer, not the time of when you have plenty of people around, but now this is the best time when there's almost no one here. You have the wonderful beach, wonderful sea, the fresh air, everything is helping you to get yourself prepared for the fight of the century.
I'm going to have to disagree with you, Alex, because on the way here, this place is like a ghost town. I didn't see any people on the street. It looks quite underdeveloped. I think this we're in probably the only hotel that looks nice. You know, I mean, everywhere else it's like a ghost town.
It is. If you come here summertime, you will find it completely different. You will never recognize it. But this time of the year, it's like a ghost town. It is actually a ghost town. You have like hundreds of people you can hardly find. But isn't it the best condition for everyone involved in training to be at?
I prefer Dubai.
Ah, come on. Of course you do. But you have nothing else to be concentrated at. Only your training and only your goal. That's it.
Fair play, because that's what it's about, isn't it, ultimately? We're here, and obviously the fight's been rescheduled. What I want to ask you is, Alex, you know, when the moment you heard about the news, how did you guys decide who was going to tell Alexander? Because I'm guessing, because today he seems like he's in a bit of an off mood, like, you know, because a fighter's behavior is unpredictable. So who decided who was going to tell him?
We did not even discuss. So immediately, as soon as I heard the news, I called Sergey Lapin and told him straight as it is. So should it be myself, should it be him, it doesn't matter. It is what it is. We cannot change the fact that Tyson Fury is injured. And he has to know this now. Let him finish his last sparring and tell him the news. The unfortunate, the not pleasant news, but you never know what is going to be turned to.
And obviously, talking of the injury, you know, there's a lot of crazy conspiracy theories out there that, you know, he's cut himself, it's a surgical cut, and all these sorts of. Have you seen all these theories out there?
I did see some of them, and of course, some thoughts come into your mind. Oh, it's done on purpose. Oh, there's some conspiracy. Oh, he wants to fight. He doesn't want to fight USYK. He wants to fight AJ. But come on, this is not more than talks. Tyson is a warrior. No matter what, he is a fighter. He's been a world champion for many years. I'm still challenging his status of the lineal champ, but it doesn't change much. He's unbeaten, and he's been training for so many years. He's been working in a gym, in amateur career, in professional career, whatever. He is the warrior, and he has the heart of the warrior. And thinking of him doing it on purpose just smashes my heart. You know, I can't believe it. I will never believe it, even though it's true. On the other hand, injuries happen, unfortunately, and every boxing contract has this clause. If injury occurs, then we have this condition after. Sometimes it says if injury, then no fight in the future, but it is what it is. This time he suffered an injury. Last time he suffered an injury. We will pray and hope that next time he will not suffer the injury.
So I want to mention His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh. He mentioned in the Zoom call you guys had the other day that, you know, he's suffering from illness and he's delayed his treatment just to make sure this fight gets made and everyone steps into the ring. Just credit to him for basically making sure this fight happens. Because normally when things like this happen, fans don't hear nothing for days, but within 48 hours we've got a new date.
Credits for him, not just for sacrificing something. Credits for him on behalf of fans around the world for making their dreams come true. It's not about just Tyson and USYK. It's about things he's done already and things he's planning for the future. All the fights, undisputed, Ngannou with Fury, Ngannou with Joshua, all these fights, fans just dreamt of them. And now this man comes and puts them into reality. What can be better? My question is what he's gonna be doing in 1 or 2 years when all the dreams are realized. But this is a question about the future. At this moment, he's doing some extraordinary things. The fights that will not be possible to take place without Saudi people being involved.
Yeah, 100% back that, and hopefully the fans give him the credit and give the country the publicity it probably deserves for putting all this together. And you know, when you was given the date May 18th, were there any other dates suggested, or was that the first date you was given?
This was the only date we were given, and I tell you, from my perspective, we were pushing the different scenario. We were pushing Usyk has the fight on 17th of February with Hrgovic. We remove, if God help us, and we remove the IBF obstacle from the road to the undisputed, and that's how we can reschedule the big fight for the later date, because it's a matter of common knowledge that a cut like this takes a little bit more time, not to recover, but after the cut is recovered, you still need to jump into a training camp and go through the certain period of time with making your conditioning and then sparring. So normally 3 months is not sufficient, but according to what we heard from His Excellency, he spoke with Tyson and he said that this is take it or leave it. He said to us the same, take it or leave it. May 18th is the alternative. If you are okay with this, then we have the fight.
That's interesting. That so it was basically an ultimatum on that date. And then the other question that a lot of the fans are wondering is, obviously there's a rematch in this fight. When that rematch happens, is it still going to be undisputed, or will one of the belts be gone?
It has to happen, according to our contract, it has to happen within 6 months from the initial date of the fight. This is number one. And number two is whether it's going to be undisputed. Most likely no, because we have IBF at stake. Well, not at stake, we have IBF on the way to the undisputed.
Okay. I want to speak to you about Tyson Fury's body shape. You know, a lot of people have been questioning, saying, is he taking this seriously? It's quite obvious. You know, you saw the pictures. What did you make of that? You know, after seeing the transformation from the Ngannou fight to this one.
He inspired me. You know what? He inspired me to lose weight. He can launch his weight loss practicums on Instagram, like live, get rid of 10 kilos within just 1 month, something like this. But seriously, he looked good. But let's see how good he's gonna look on May 18th.
What do you make of, when the news initially broke, Egas, I was telling you off camera, Egas always looks like he's angry. Even when there's the good news, he still looks like he's angry, but you're always smiling. I think you said that Tyson was scared to fight him, and Egas obviously called him a coward, and he called him a bitch and all sorts of things. Was that just anger talking, or do you actually feel them things?
Well, I didn't say he was like afraid to fight. The thing
He said he should retire, I think.
Yeah, I think I think I commented on Instagram that God gave you a sign. Think of retirement.
Yeah, that's right.
I explain you. The guy who retired already 5 times, it's not a problem for him to think of the 6th time to retire. So he's been doing it already in the past. Who knows? Maybe he will think of it in the future. But we don't want him to retire. We don't need him to retire. We want him to train as hard as he can. We want him to be in the best possible shape. The one he showed now is good, but we want him to be in way better shape on May 18th, because we want to get the victory over the opponent that is on his top. That is when the taste of the victory is the sweetest. When you had the tough fight with a decent opponent who had no justification of his weakness, who couldn't say, oh well, I was injured, my nail was bad, I had a cut on my heel or whatever. No, this man is 100% ready, and he got defeated by the king. That is a decent explanation. That is something that has to be done, and that's what's gonna be respected for ages. That's what I want to.
One interesting viewpoint is, I don't know if anyone's ever answered this. Let's just say whoever wins, but they win in such a dominant fashion where it's not even a close fight. Is there still a rematch? You know, is there anything in the contracts that says if it's something like that, maybe you go down a different route?
You cannot judge. That was undiscussable victory, or it was a question mark. It just says immediate rematch, no matter what. Sometimes you can lose in the first round by KO just because you close your eyes and miss something very interesting. It's a rematch, no matter what.
And just wrapping up, have you seen some of the stuff that's been happening online? You know, there's been in the British media, we've seen Johnny Nelson in the last few weeks done lots of interviews, and he's talked about saying that he's got a mole in the camp, and he's heard that Tyson's not having a good training camp. Have you heard these sort of things, and do you guys take any confidence from that?
I heard many things, but we take confidence from our work. I remember, you know what, it was Triple G and his trainer who used to tell him before the fight, listen, you've gone through 300 rounds of sparrings, you have run 1,000 kilometers, you've done tremendous work in the fitness, you did this, you did that, you have done everything possible to be now here the way you are. Just walk into the ring and perform the way you feel it, because you deserve it. You deserve the victory. It's not because you will try hard and see whether. No, you have already deserved the victory. There is a saying in Bible. The horse is prepared for the day of the fight, but the victory comes from God. It's exactly the same. It's up to you to do your job, to execute your obligations, but it's only up to the Lord to decide what the result gonna be. So this is the way we used to work, this is the way we used to treat our life, and this is the way it's gonna happen.
Tyson Fury mentioned this in the face-off that him and Usyk did, and he said, you know, he's fascinated that both men are God-fearing and both believe in God, and they've both been chosen out of 8 billion people on this planet to settle the heavyweight undisputed title.
Well, not all of 8 billion are heavyweights, but many of them are. But this is true, they are chosen. They are chosen to fight first time in the history for the 4-belt undisputed heavyweight championship. This fight, you see, this fight is being cooked well. So when we finally have the undisputed heavyweight championship, it will be a well done, very well done championship.
Last question, Alex. Have you seen the back and forth between Carl Froch and John Fury? John Fury's offered to fight Carl Froch, and it seems like from the British boxers, George Groves and Carl Froch are both picking Usyk to win. So a couple of questions there. And also, have you had any Ukrainian fighters that are picking Tyson to win? Or is that just a British thing?
No. This morning I watched John Fury like offering a fight to Carl Froch on Wembley, but he didn't forget to mention about money. So that was the number one thing for him. It's not about the fight, actually. The guys know boxing. That's why they are picking up Usyk to win. They understand boxing. They've been in boxing for many years, and they see the real essence of it. It's not about how big you are. It's not about how strong you are. It's about how motivated you really are. It comes from your heart. It doesn't come from your muscles. Regarding Ukraine, I never met anyone who could think of Tyson Fury to win. If a person is coming from any other field but boxing, probably it can be said like, Tyson Fury gonna win, without any justification, without any reason for that. But people who know boxing, who understand it, they are pretty sure. They are pretty sure. If Usyk is healthy, listen, if you watch at Vitaly Klitschko and you see him fighting, he used to say, if I am fit, there is no one in the world who can defeat me. This is the same mentality that is in Usyk's mind. If he is fit, there is no person in the earth that can defeat him. That's because of his character, that's because of his mindset, and because of he's assured. I tell you why. Like the thing I mentioned about Triple G, because he deserves it. He deserved it by his work, his real work, and his dedication, his sacrifices. Normally, when you want to get something, you have to sacrifice something. And the more you sacrifice, the more you get. Usyk has sacrificed so much that his prize is well deserved.
And lastly, do you think it's worth highlighting that both men, people see Tyson Fury, loud and brash on camera, and we see Usyk, he comes across as more quiet, but off camera, they're both very similar characters. Would you agree?
I didn't have many opportunities to talk to Tyson, but I must admit, I feel love in my heart to him. I remember my attitude to him started to form before his fight with Vladimir. And I didn't feel any negative to him. He was always nice. He was never normal, but he was attractive. And up to now, I feel love and respect to this man. I can't say anything bad about him. I don't even want to start thinking bad of him, and I just can't afford myself doing this. Anytime I see him, the only feeling I have is to hug him and shake his hand.
I think you might be all right, but I'm not sure about Egas. Egas is probably best staying away from him. But I think, like you said, they're both great men, and our fans should celebrate this historic occasion when it happens on May the 8th. Alex, I appreciate your time. This interview was powered by IPMB. Thank you very much for your time, Alex.
I'm ready to fight.
I'm ready to fight. Thank you.
Fear. Most people are governed by their habits, their fears, and their opinions of others.